And I saw a clip of Chad, and Chad was like, Stephen Bravo gave him $5. He wouldn't even read it. He's scared because Stephen Bravo's a big donor to Chad. Now, I'm not one of these guys who gets jealous about people who contribute to my show contributing to others. I think that's kind of a weird, hacky thing to do. I think people should enjoy what they want, and I think if you enjoy a creator, you should support them financially. Absolutely. I'm a member of, I give $10, $15 a month to like 3 or 4 channels because I like them. And I watch them regularly. There's Sean. There's Zumach. I watch a lot of Zumach now, so I throw him a couple of bucks. And then my Vikings, one of my Vikings guys, I throw a few bucks to every month. You got to walk the walk. And when I like people and I consume a lot of their content, I support them because I want them to be able to keep doing it. But Stephen Bravo, Chad's like, $5. He didn't even read the thing. That's because with that particular super chat, there was no thing. He just sent $5. I read all of Stephen Bravo's stuff, and it's all very funny. I don't like the ugliness of people's jealousy. Don't get jealous. That's a stinky cologne. And then Chad Zumach went public with something on Twitter that I've experienced myself. He said, and this is like, we've talked about the insecurity of Patrick Melton before. It's no surprise to his audience isn't aware of it, but we are. He gets very jealous when people who watch, he thinks that people who watch him should only watch him. He has a very like abandoned child mentality about like watching stream. Like you should only watch him. He kind of runs that cult of 65 IQ, really mongoloid looking inbreds. And when they venture out of his community, they find out that everyone thinks he's either, they call him a or a retard, or fat, hunchback, back tits, whatever they call him. There's too many names. We'd be here all day. And they found out that, like, I guess some of them like Chad, and Chad found out from some of his fans that Patrick Melton, when he finds out that they like Chad too, Patrick makes them choose or tries to make them choose. Like he'll message them and tell them, you have to choose between Chad or me. Now, I didn't know that this was a secret. Like a lot of people were sharing this around and going, holy shit, I didn't know this. I've known about this for over a year. I have fans of mine who go, I came over to you from that shitty Onion show. And when he finds out that you watch both shows unironically, he gets mad. And he tells you, no, you can't enjoy it. No, nothing's good. No, you have to pick this one or that one. It's like, dude, how many times did your parents leave you? Like, how many times did they neglect you? That's some deep-seated childhood shit. When you're on the internet and you can't handle other people on the internet liking other people on the internet, that's mommy and daddy. That's mommy and daddy. That reminds me. We should have sent Patrick a gift for Christmas. I know he doesn't have anybody. I think mommy and daddy are dead, and they didn't really love him anyway. And he's really got nobody to Christmas with. And then you're fat. That's no way to go through life. Fat and alone. Veldrain says Patrick Melton's biggest problem with his insecurities is he can't eat them to make them go away. He tries. Snowcat Tish says Zumach talks about money more than you. His obsession with SJ is scary. Well, here's my deal with all that. All of these guys talk about money more than I do. That's the ugly secret they don't want to talk about. We have a money goal. We throw it right in your face. We're very honest about it. It's a big blinking neon light, and then we do a show. These guys, everything they do is geared towards a money grab. Every work they set up, they're not being honest with you. These shows are doing gimmicks to try and take money out of your pocket and then act like they're not doing what I do. And they're not doing what I do. They're doing something much more insidious. They're doing something much more dishonest, which is they're pretending that they're not doing what I do while doing worse than what I do. What I do is I go, hey, this is what I do for a living. In order for me to keep doing this for a living, here's the number. And then we move from there. Then the rest is up to you. These other guys, they just bombard you with works and grifts and everything else. And it's so immature. Like it's middle school. People in high school don't behave that way. So I've always thought that a lot of the steel toe hate around the goal and everything else was wild projection of people who just can't be as honest as we are about. Lucky Limes with $2 says, Merry Christmas, keep felting Nick Rekieta. I don't see people say that. I don't feel like I'm felting him. I feel like I just kind of live my life. He misses Aaron once in a while, and then he gets a little Aaron obsessed, and then I just respond with one of these. That's it. And then it's over. Everybody lives in this world where they're like, oh, keep felting him. He felts himself. I'm just kind of sitting here doing my thing. I don't really think I'm felting anyone, but thank you. That Moody, I don't get him. Like, he's not an entertainer of any kind. He's not funny. He's never said anything memorable. Is that just like the only guy that will talk to Patrick, so he has him on? That's a weird guy. That's Patrick has a phenotype. Moody has a phenotype of a guy. You go into that closet, there's skeletons in it. That's a weird dude. They get on socialist media says asking his viewers to choose is like asking Melton to decide on a second or third lunch. He'll want both. Eastwood says Chad's just amazed people will give him money and he doesn't have to steal it. I don't know. Chad's still got a big time problem with me. Either that or he just finds me. No, I don't think Chad has a big time problem with me. Chad's learned what other people have learned. I'm very interesting. I'm far more fascinating than anything all these other people have to do on a show. And you talk about me, you get numbers. Steel toe is numbers. That's how it works. Now, fortunately, I have the ability to do an actual show that people will watch. These people don't. Chad tries to do what I do. Carl tries to do what I do. Any of these guys try to do what I do, they would have no audience. They try to do the kind of show that I do. Nobody would care. It's got to bother them. But to have to talk about me to grab numbers, I don't mind. It's the ultimate compliment you can get in this business. But it's also, Chad's just amazed people will give him money and he doesn't have. I don't think that's it. I think Chad is a good carnival barker. Like any radio guy, Chad's a good carnival barker. And he knows what draws a crowd. And, it can't bother me because I know he doesn't mean it. He's carnival barking. That's all it is. Angelica's doll. Oh, yes, this is the question a lot of people had. What presents did you get? Are you engaged yet? No, I am not engaged. So the whole engaged by Christmas thing did not happen. I told her so. Nana's Clam says, I believe the engagement did happen. He's just not telling us. There it is. That's what anti-steel toe life looks like. I know Aaron said this thing, but it can't be true because it's not what I want to believe about Aaron. I'm just going to go with what I originally thought. Sam Show says, you win. You got someone to say, I'm not coping. That's true. Whenever someone has to deny the cope, that's never a good look. Nana's Clam says, SP seems like the type to propose to Aaron. You don't know her. That's another creepy thing. It's like, I bet you she's doing this. It's like, you got no idea, Jack.